we stayed poised, and I think that's how we control the game. I give credit to JB for running the show and keeping everybody in place. Coach Lloyd, he did a great job with calling the plays, and Coach Murph, I give a shout out to him for his scout. He had us prepared for since the break, since we got back, and so we was ready. We was ready for this game, and it showed out on the floor tonight.
Is there any other difference between when they got within a basket or a point of you guys and you responded to that, whereas earlier this year sometimes didn't go that way?
No, we wasn't worried. We was tight in our huddles, and kind of the message was, stay poised, stay together, and we got to be the most connected team in these last. I think it was last 8 minutes when we said that, and that's exactly what we did. We was the most connected team. We played together. Like I said, although we was taking punches, we was throwing ours too, and like I said, we just stayed poised, and I think that's the key to us winning the games, and especially tight games in the Big 12 where it's gonna be tough, and calls might not go our way. We just got to stay together. We got to stay poised.
Henry, you had the UCLA game went really well for you, but then there were a couple shots from outside that didn't go in. How much have you worked on maybe your shot selection and when you had those opportunities tonight?
Me and Cam for sure have talked about like shot selection and when to take them, but like also my team is like C-Love, KJ. They're always saying like let it rip whenever you open. Like just your team is belief in you. Like it helps a lot.
How did it feel hitting that three?
Oh, it felt really good. I missed a lot in a row, but that felt really good to go in.
You're a real shooter, I'm telling you. You're a real shooter.
For Caleb and KJ, what did you guys think of Henry's performance tonight, and what are the areas where he's made the most progress?
For me, man, it's been a steady growth since the summer. I'm super proud of his development. I think, he's taking it day by day. And, when you got teammates like we do, we pour belief into each other. And I think, he's getting that belief from everybody that we believe in, his abilities. And I think tonight is just a sample size of, what he can do.
Toby, I think, struggled earlier, and then late in the game, 5 minutes left, he had 3 big shots that kind of moved the difference. Just your thoughts on him, how he played late.
Who?
Toby.
Oh, yeah. Toby. Yeah, for sure. Toby is a monster on the glass, and he came up big this tonight, and we put trust in Toby. We put a lot of trust in Toby. It's hard to be a big in Coach Lloyd's system. He asks you to do a lot, but Toby he steps up to the challenge every time, and even when he doesn't know, he'll ask questions, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to win, and that's what it showed tonight. He like you said, he hit those 3 back-to-back big time buckets, and we needed it.
Everyone talks about you guys having to be tough in this league. Was this like the first shot of knowing how tough you have to be?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
How is it? How was it?
No, I think it was a great atmosphere. It was a great environment, and for us to kick our first, Big 12 game off like this, I think it gives us a lot of confidence. I think we needed this one, and we just got to continue to, get better and better each and every day. And then we got a big road trip coming up, and we got to start preparing for that in the next couple days.
So you'll have the next 2 here on the road, and the Pac-12 was difficult on the road, and it seems like the Big 12 is going to be that way as well. I mean, how important is it to do the same that you did here on someone else's court?
It's big time. I mean, we got to keep that same intensity, that same, edge and, aggressiveness on the road, and, be able to take a punch because, home court advantage is real in this league, and we know we're going to get the opponent's best shot over there. But we got to be able to rally together and, stay poised like we did today in those big-time moments.
Henry, it seems like Mo is down currently and might be done for the season. Given that, did Coach Lloyd talk to you at all about what your role might be? Have you thought yourself like, hey, I need to step up because we're down a 7-footer and I'm maybe the last one left?
Myself, yeah, I said to step up. I feel like with Coach Lloyd, we had little talks, but it wasn't more about oh, you're gonna have to do this, but it's more like you have to be ready for the moment. And he's just saying game by game, see what's coming and wherever based on the scout what we gotta do.
Do you feel like you're playing with? I mean, you've shown it at times this season, but more aggressive, more and confident, or how do you feel at this point now?
I feel like this comes with confidence. Like, you just start playing better, so you feel better. You be more aggressive. You just play like you want to play all the time. You don't play scared. That helps a lot.
And KJ, how about eight assists? Were you, shooting for that kind of thing? The way you've been playing, you figured that could happen this season, or?
Not really. Just trusting my teammates. Putting them in the right spots when I get the opportunity to. And I got full faith in them to make big shots and finish plays, and vice versa. I know they got the same belief in me when it's their time to get an assist or whatever the case may be. But just been emphasizing this week on picking the ball up with a little bit more force and playing with fundamentals that coach wants us to play with.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
30-minute time limit before I get out of here and go home, so
Yeah,
you guys are cutting into my relaxing time at home, so let's get this done.
Big 12 rules.
The Big 12.
Yeah, Nate's a rule follower, that's why I love him.
So your first glimpse into the Big 12, how do you feel?
Hey, it's basketball. I mean, it's it's basketball, and the Big 12 is going to be amazing, but we had some amazing conference games the last couple of years in the Pac-12 as well. So, but they're heavyweight battles, and I thought our guys did a good job getting off to a good start, and maybe against some lesser opponents, you can kind of get that little run, then make the next run and get that gap. We were just never able to do that, and so. Got to give a ton of credit to TCU for hanging around and not making it easy. And I mean, our offense obviously was clicking tonight, which is a good sign, but it had to be, or that the outcome could have been different.
But what was the difference? Just you guys answered basically everything. You led the whole way, even as close as they kept cutting it. Just as opposed to earlier this season when you had some deals like that, and maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't maybe handled some of these close games. As good as we could have. And I think there's a little more certainty now in what we want to do and how we want to play. I thought the guys had great poise. And, we've talked a lot about that. These aren't going to be, 20-0 runs. You're not going to be up 30 at half. I mean, those days are done. So we've got to get comfortable being in close games and comfortable fighting and fighting back. So I thought our guys showed a ton of poise today, and that's what it's going to take on a night in and a night out basis.
Talk about Caleb's line, 33-7-7-0.
Great. I mean, obviously, I'll take it every day. Caleb played great, and it's going to be a long conference season, but he deserves that. And Caleb is, there's a lot of attention put on him, and he's a little bit of a lightning rod, and my job is to stick with him. I mean, he's my guy, and he's our guy, and I'm going to hang with him through the good times and the bad times because I believe in him, and I know his teammates believe in him. I know he believes in himself, and sometimes I think that one thing that's not talked about enough is, when you're a guy of Caleb's stature and you have to come back to college, it's not easy, and there's a lot of emotions involved, and when you come back, you want it to go great, you want it to go perfect, and when it doesn't, it's a gut punch. So I think he showed a lot of character in how he's handled it and how he's responded to a situation that there's expectations and it hasn't gone well. For him to come out and play the way he did and just the way he carried himself was great. But you know what? There's another challenge waiting next week. That's the thing. We got to keep it going.
What did you like about the way Henry played tonight?
Henry settled in. Henry, somebody that I believe in a lot, and his development's taken a while, which is normal. It's not a slight to Henry by any stretch. He's in his third year. He's 7 feet tall. He had a thin frame. They're starting to come together. His shooting, his decision making, his balance, his strength is all kind of coming together at the right time. But you know what he needed? He needed some game experience. Henry has shot the ball really well, in workouts and practice. And I don't know what his three-point shooting was going into the game, but it wasn't an indicator of that. So there's this thing called game confidence that you have to get, and when you have to be able to do it under the lights. And so for him to kind of get that opportunity, Mo's out, so we'll make that announcement. I don't think he's coming back this year. I mean, it doesn't look like it. So, you know, now we're going to be able to roll with Henry, and he's going to get probably a little more, you know, a little more opportunity. And for him to kind of have a kick off his Big 12 career the way he did tonight was a great sign.
Was there a definitive ruling today from doctors or whatever as far as Mo, or did he decide on surgery? Or what?
Well, I mean, I think that's coming. I think that's coming. But the head coach probably slipped up and said too much when he probably knew more, and he finally, you know, just let my guard down and said what we all kind of were assuming. So, you know, I met with Mo today. It doesn't look like he's going to play, but he's a great person and a great player, and he's an important part of our program going forward.
Games, Tommy, I'm sorry, do you?
Well, just to follow up, is he going to have surgery, or that's still up in the air?
Yeah, you know, I'll let J-Rock and the training staff, you know, kind of make those announcements, and Nate when the time is right. Because if I did say that and I don't know the right procedure or whatever, I don't want to violate any HIPAA rules or anything. So, but yeah, it doesn't look like he's coming back this year.
One more thing, just, sorry. Was that like was there any chance that he wanted to play? Did you guys want to err on the conservative
I mean,
side?
Bruce, I'm not going to get into the weeds, but it doesn't look like he's going to be back this year. And, you know, as, you know, more time passes, maybe we'll get more clarity on everything. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know all the particulars because I've been so focused on the guys that are going to play and moving this team forward. You know, that's been where my attention's been.
Back to Tommy, back to Caleb, Tommy. Did you, at any point in the last 3 games, he's been brilliant in all these points, did you have to say, don't worry, I got you, everything will be okay, or you didn't have to worry about that?
I mean, we've had a lot of conversations, and I think that's always understood, you know, with him and I. But that doesn't mean we're not honest. That doesn't mean that I just, you know, rub his shoulders. I'm very honest with him, and you know what? He can handle it. And you know, I thought he played great today. You know, I thought he did. You know, I thought start of the second half defensively, I think he went for a wild steal and things like that. We'll talk about that. But all in all, I mean, I think, you know, he showed that, you know, he's one of the best players in the country. But to be one of the best players in the country, you got to do it on a night in and night out basis. And hopefully that's what we're trending towards.
You mentioned earlier that the offense had to be clicking tonight or the result could have been different. What was your impression of TCU, especially offensively, considering they were missing 2 of their best players?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jamie's a great coach. He's been there, playing a lot of big games. He's got almost an entirely new team. And so it's really impressive. And, you know, but those dudes they have some veterans, man. Those guys have been around the block. They've played those transfers. Those freshmen came in and played with confidence today. You know, probably a little bit like we were, you know, those injuries happen initially and it kind of rocks you a little bit. It takes a little bit to stabilize. And they're probably, you know, knowing that Frankie's not playing this year. So Reynolds is probably a little bit more comfortable. You know, number 3, I think Outlet, is that his name? I mean, boy, he was something tonight. And then their role players were great. And so I think it's just it's a really impressive outfit. And, you know, I know, you know, these injuries are tough on everybody, but I was really impressed with just how they competed tonight. I thought we had them on the ropes a couple times, and they came back. And then, man, I thought you know, we had a few crazy possessions. They got an and one. They made a 3. And, you know, defensively, we could have been better. There's no doubt about it. So, I mean, I was just impressed with their stick-to-itiveness tonight.
Carter Bryant makes some spectacular plays out there, but he's also put a lot of control at times. Had that one spin move that he tried with the travel. What do you make of where he's at?
Growing. You know, I mean, guys, I told you, let's give him a month. Let's see where he's at after a month. You need that initial kind of those initial opportunities and those initial tests to see where you're at. And then you need some time to respond to those. And I think we're getting to that right now, you know, and you know, he's got enough game experience now. You know, he did some great things today. I mean, that 3 he made was big time. He had another 3 right in front of our bench. He goes in and out, you know, that would have kind of iced the game. So, I mean, those are big time plays. He did have a travel on a little dump down. He had a travel on you know, when he caught the ball kind of in the middle of the zone on that spin move you're talking about. Those are things he could continue to get better at. And, you know, defensively, he had some great possessions, and he had some possessions where, you know, he did too much. They're all learning. It's all learning. And Carter is, you know, Carter has two things in spades: great character and great potential. And I will bet on those things every day, but they just take a little bit of time. And I think we're getting closer to seeing, you know, what a more finished product of Carter is going to look like.
33 baskets real quick. Go ahead, you can transition.
Sorry, Steve.
No, go ahead.
Just follow, because I want to follow up on Carter, but.
Why do you two sit next to each other?
We've been together too long.
It's scary how long. But the Carter, it seemed like he played really well when he was at the 4 too. I mean, is that more of a?
Yeah, I mean, we've been most of his opportunities be coming at the 4, but you know, there's a domino effect. Big Mo goes out, so you know, you got Toby at the 5, Henry slides over to the 5, you got Trey at the floor. That opens up an opportunity for Carter to move to the 4, which opens up an opportunity for Delly to get more opportunity at the, you know, at the wing position. And, you know, and then we can kind of figure out, you know, those 5 perimeter guys, you know, who's playing good, and they can get a lot of the opportunity. So it's just kind of maybe giving us a little more certainty in our rotation.
33 baskets, 20 assists, look like Tommy Lloyd of the 2-3 years
Yeah,
ago.
that was awesome. I mean, well, listen, 2-3 years ago was last year. We didn't do that last year. I mean, that's how we love to play. And you know, assist is something we never talk about, but playing the right way is something we talk about. We want ball movement. We want player movement. We want guys to have high IQs. We want guys playing with great fundamentals. And, you know, yeah, that was challenging at some points this year. And you know, I obviously could have done a better job coaching it, but it's not like I changed my philosophy. You know, so now I think that there's more synergy between, you know, what the staff's looking for and what the players are doing on the court.
You're looking forward to having the opportunity to carry what you did here onto the road with these two?
100%. I mean, we're fired up. We got a great road trip. I mean, come on, you're going all the way back to the East Coast. You're playing Cincinnati. You're playing West Virginia. I'm assuming they're going to both fan bases are going to be excited that Arizona's coming to their home gym. And, yeah, I mean, what a great opportunity for us to go out and continue to prove ourselves in the Big 12.
How do you feel about playing that's your longest trip, to do that right away? Is that a good thing? You're not in school, guys aren't in school, whatever.
I'll let you know after. We'll talk after, and then I'll let you know. In our lunch wrap-up at the end of the season, we'll talk about it.
Brigger going to give you the tour of Cincinnati, or you got Rex for that?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of friends in Cincinnati, so I'm looking forward to it. But hey, let's keep Brigger focused on you know, making sure the uniforms are clean and everything. We don't need him getting sidetracked.
How's it gone with Ed again? Sorry.
Go ahead, Bill.
How has it gone with him? You mean you kind of inherited Emoy, right? Like, I mean, how's that going?
We're calling it by acronyms now.
Well, that's what you called him, and I guess.
Listen, you know, there's a lot of guys that have stayed on with the program, and you know, since I came here, and I think that continuity is really important. I mean, I'm not going to come in and assume that I know everything that is Arizona basketball, and I am going to be everything that Arizona basketball is going to be. Arizona basketball was amazing before I got here, and you know what? It'll probably be amazing after me. And this is my time in there, but so it's not about me. It's about the program. And those guys have helped me. I mean, when you talk about the guys, I could think Nate, right here, Brigger, Rounds, J-Rock. Those 4 guys right there have helped me so much, you know, navigate Arizona basketball. And they've been positive contributors, and they've really become lifelong friends. So I'm thankful for those guys. And it just, to me, that's super important, just that continuity and understanding that this is a lot bigger than me.
You like your first
resolution? Do you have a New Year's resolution?
I can't tell you, because that will never happen, right?
Is that how those work?
Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a big New Year's resolution guy, you know. So yeah.
The Big 12, obviously, the toughness, you're going to need it. Did you like what you saw tonight?
Yeah, you need toughness, but you know what? You need toughness when you played UCLA. You need toughness when you played Oregon. You need toughness when you played SC. That's what winning basketball is. You know, yeah. I mean, maybe we'll see top to bottom. Maybe there's a little bit more of it needed. But here's the deal: I'm going to go in eyes wide open. I'm not going to assume everything. The assumptions I'm going to make are easy. Every game is going to be hard, and we're going to have to play good to be competitive. I'll make those assumptions. Anything beyond that, I mean, we're going to have to earn, and that's how we're going to approach it.
Thanks, Coach.
See you guys next year.